Hello, Instagram. Saturday evening, and I'm live. And today we have an amazing and wonderful person with us. So let me introduce her. She is Dia. Hi, Vaibhav. Hi, Dia. She's already here. What a prompt person. Superb. Uh, Hi, Alicia. I can't see. Dia, can you send me the request to join? Good evening, Vaibhav. Yeah, I think yes. So before she joins us, let me tell you about her. Dia is a personal branding expert, founder of Design Your Presence, author, image enhancer, professional speaker, and trainer with over a decade of experience. She has worked with companies like Capgemini, Wipro, Nautica, Arvind Brands, Myntra, Z Groups, ISB. Make My Trip, and many more. Currently, she's leading a community with a strong mission to help people to build leader brands so that they can live their life full of purpose professionally and personally. So, Dia, that's amazing. And first of all, thank you and kind of you that you accepted to come here and attend a live with me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Minal. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on this. It's really
Also,
amazing.
let us see first those who have joined. I really want to thank each one of them because Dia, I believe it's Saturday 6, and if people are joining us, they are really serious about their own
Yeah,
life.
looks like
I
it.
truly believe, right? So, hello everyone, and thank you. Hi, Gargi, life coach Vidyutma, Varun. I am Chandra Singh, Richa. Vijendra, Amit, Meghna, Gautam. Thank you, everyone. And Dia, do you know, since long I was following you and I was always excited when the day will come that she will come live with me. And it was so kind of her. I was expecting that she must be having some attitude and it will take long to call her. But when I just approached her in such a humble manner, she said, "Yes, Meenal, I will come." And thank you so much for that, Dia. Thank you so
Always. I
much.
mean, it's a part of what I do as a mission because see, the thing is, I really want to spread the word of how branding plays such a role both in businesses
Yeah.
and personal. So it's not just about just saying whatever you want to say. It's also about how you show up, how you present, all those things. So I wanted to kind of put that across to people. So I said, any opportunity comes my way, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So that's why I said, when Meenal, you got in touch with me, yes, it was a season of holiday and all those things were happening in between. And then we got together and we finally got, and it's great. I mean, it's never too late to actually, do something like this. And I'm really excited to, see how this whole thing unfolds. Yeah. Thank you so
Uh,
much.
Thank you, Dia. And so many people from our tribe, they are joining. I'm
Yeah,
really super
I see. Yes,
excited. And I truly amazed that after this 40 minutes, people will be having a lot of takeaways, the wisdom
absolutely.
which you're going to share with them. But Dia, always when I came to this coaching industries, before entering this coaching industry, I've heard a lot about this branding, image expert, personal branding. So my question to you is that what do you mean by personal branding? What do you mean by it?
So, one simple thing I would like to talk about when it comes to personal branding is, of course, it's a form of self expression and how you put your point across visually, verbally, vocally, in every aspect of what you do. I call it more like, your own presence. Your presence is what matters in every part. And believe it or not, there are a lot of people who think that I have to start building my brand, but the truth is that they already have a personal brand. It's just that they need to kind of, enhance it and make it, show up in front of people so that those people will start seeing. But right now, many people, they know that they have a brand, and there are people who don't know that they have a brand. So the people who
Yeah.
don't have what that they have a brand is actually the people who really need to work on it, because they are the people who are really looking to grow. And if they're looking to grow, definitely they can enhance that presence that they have. So I would really suggest that when it comes to personal branding, it's not just about understanding the definition. It's also about your true expression in every sense of who you are as a person. So whether it is visually, verbally, aesthetically, any aspect. So even if it means your business brand, if it means your personal brand, it's all working hand in hand in the end. So that's what it is.
Yes, basically people like me, those who are not from the business or the corporates, I'm from education industry. So this word was really something scary for me. You know, when I
Hmm.
started also, like when you
Yeah.
said that already we all are a brand, but when I used to have my coachings, when I used to hire mentors, when I used to work with people, I was always thinking, my God, it's so difficult to portray yourself as a brand and how much to talk about yourself. You know, many a times I used to feel that, is it that I'm only trying to market myself? So Dia, what is your takeaway for the youngsters or the women like me, those who are starting, they are very new
Right.
to this journey, and when this
Hmm.
word comes, because people like you, those who are expert, they know what is branding. But for me, when I just began this journey, that time I was really conscious. How can I speak continuously? How to show my
Yeah.
face, my body, my product, that is my services, to the people in the most simple manner where they don't feel that I'm marketing, but yes, still I have to focus on my brand. So, in a
So when
simple
there's,
manner, I
yeah,
want you to
yeah.
share. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would just make it very, very simple that way is that a lot of people think personal branding is a task. It's like this heavy thing with, you have to do a lot of things. But let me tell you one thing that while it is a responsibility for you, you can make it easy for yourself. You don't necessarily have to see now there's this thing called, oh, we need to do videos every day. We need to do
Yeah.
audio every day. We need to put marketing every day. I'm not as consistent myself. But the idea is that to understand that it goes beyond just finding a marketing strategy or finding a content creation strategy and saying that I'm going to master content and master marketing and then I'm going to take over. It doesn't work like that. The idea is that whatever you do, whatever you present, whatever you put forward to people matters, right? So anything that you do, whether it is, see, if you want to influence people, if you want to create an impact, you don't need followers for that. You just need
Yes.
your own authentic self to put your point across. Okay, we make it, see, the thing is, I understand that personal branding, the whole term itself is like a little hard, but personal branding is actually your presence. It's your
Yes.
self presence. It's every aspect of who you do, whether it's your executive presence, your leadership presence, your business presence, your personal presence, your image, your online presence, everything. So how are you showing up visually? Because see, human beings are visual people. so
Yes.
what is it that you're doing? It's not about, oh, I'm very good at videos, so I'm going to keep doing videos, Yeah, okay. If you have fun doing it, why not? Like now, right now, you're doing a live, right? This
Yes.
itself is personal branding. If you think about
Yes.
it, I mean, this is like halfway through. And I tell you one thing that almost 50, I would say about 40%, 50% people are doing it this way in more organic ways, right? Now, there are a lot of people who think that I need X number of followers, I need these many people to follow me, only then my brand will show. But the truth is it's
Yes.
not that way, right? So let's keep it very, very simple by understanding that when you are a coach or when you're a trainer or when you're a creator or whatever the case is, yes, initially it's a little overwhelming because you're like, okay, now I got my certificate. So now, isn't that enough to show a brand? But the truth is that's not enough, right? A lot of people can be certified overnight, they can be certified over a period of time. But if they don't have the brand in front of them, how are people going to know that this is what they are good at?
Yes.
So that's what we have to show in terms of that. Yeah.
It's so amazing. I just want everyone to share the heart in the chat box, because how beautifully she has explained that you have to be authentic in whatever you are doing. So, uh, Divya, maybe we must have met, or we would have met before, and you would have given me this definition, because I really struggled a lot. And I used to feel, my God, it's such a tedious job of posting daily, sharing the stories, the reels, coming live. But when I realized that if I'm enjoying something and the way I am, if I'm portraying myself the way I am, then it's something which I will have
It's
that
good.
connection.
See, there are a lot of things that come with it when it comes to personal branding. A lot of people have asked me, okay, so now I'm doing this. So why should I do it? You know,
Hmm.
why should I, go online? Why should I show up? Why can't I just do it separately? I'm an introvert. The thing is that even you don't need to change your personality to show up in front of people. There are various ways to do that. Today, you don't just need videos. You can use audio, you can use content, you can use blogs. There's so many ways to do it. But the thing is, online presence is a medium that you use to connect with a larger audience. So that's why it is important to know some bits of it and not be perfect at it. You'll keep learning, you'll keep understanding, but then it's always a connection that you have with people. And the number one thing that we have to learn in personal branding, and whether it's business branding or corporate branding, is connection. Because I always
Yes.
say that whether you are in a B2B or a B2C, okay, which is business to client or business to business or whatever, right? The idea is to understand that you as a brand is your responsibility to show up in a certain way so that people can connect with you on a human to human level. Right now what we are doing is human to human, right?
Yes.
If I was just telling you this is my brand, design your presence, and this is what I'm going to be doing, would you even connect with it? No. But I am connecting with you, you're connecting with me, and that's how we are building our brands. So that's how simply simplified it can actually be. It's just that how we put in our efforts to make it amplified. So when we amplify it, that's when the growth comes in, right? That's what I teach in my community as well. That's when the growth comes in, and that's when people will actually come to you and they will learn from you and they'll understand who you are as a person. So yeah,
Correct.
that's what it
Yeah.
is, bits and
So
pieces.
simple and so beautifully explained. And this is what is the sign of a true mentor or a true coach. Now, Dia, you have a huge experience of corporate, correct? But
Yes.
like you have worked with wonderful brands and the leading brands on this planet. But I'm sure you must have faced a lot of failures and rejections. 100%,
Yeah.
correct?
Oh yes.
So how did you, what was your response to these failures and rejections? Because I remember when I started my journey and when I'm taking now one on one coaching, especially the women, they feel that we have started right now and the next step only we will be successful and
Mm.
everybody will accept me, correct? So when the rejection comes, when the failure comes, they immediately say, I can't do it. I don't think I'm capable of achieving that success, or even they are not ready to take the next step in the journey. So, what would you like to suggest to such women that failures and rejections, what are these? Are they the part of this journey and how to handle them?
So one of the key things that I look at it, I mean, of course, this way is that every failure and every challenge, every obstacle is a story to tell to somebody who's going through it currently.
Hmm.
Because you have gone through it, you have come out of it. Did you stay in it? Now that's an option, that's a choice that you can make. So say for example, you've gone through failure and you say, I quit. That's what you
Hmm.
chose. It's not because of some external situation that you quit. You decided to quit. It's your mindset. But
Yes.
tomorrow, if you go back and you stand up on your feet and say, I will not let failure stop me, you have learned something from that. And you have learned much more than what you thought. Because I will just say one thing, that whether it comes to entrepreneurship or the coaching training industry or whatever we are doing today, it really matters to fail. It's actually, you should enjoy failure. And it might sound very weird, but the thing is that if you don't fail, how are you going to learn? You cannot have it like a smooth sailing ocean where there are no waves. I mean, it's boring, right? But the
Yeah.
fact is that when you start learning from your mistakes, you start learning from your failures, only then you become better. That's the true path to excellence. You don't have to be perfect at it. Nobody is telling you to master videos overnight. Nobody is telling you to learn how to make money overnight. We all have big goals, but the end result is that how far you've come. That's what
Yeah.
matters, right? So any, like, whenever I faced a rejection, right, Minal, it has been very yes, of course, when I was much newer in the business and all that, there were a lot of things that would stop me. Like, okay, why was I rejected? Why were people saying no to me all the time, right? But then I realized that all these no's that I got opened gates to bigger yeses in my
Yes.
life, right? And that's when I realized that, oh wow, this is actually what the journey is. And when I started seeing that, that's when things started working. And that's when I said, okay, I have to embrace failure. It's going to happen. Today I might have to, redo certain things, I have to rework on certain things, but that's how it is. I mean, you can't be a victim of your own failures. You have to learn to see your failures as stories. So that's what really, really matters in this case.
So true. Dia, right now you're in the position to share this, this wisdom. But I want to ask you that when you were sailing in the mid of that storm, how much it was painful and how you pushed yourself that it's okay, it happened because, now you have crossed that. So I can understand. But many a times when you are in the center and when you see that nothing is working out from everywhere, it's rejection, 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 that time, how to keep yourself inspired, how to keep yourself motivated, how to wake up early in the morning with that dream. Because to be very honest, I have felt that many a times my clients, when I talk to them and I push them, why I'm asking you to share, because of course, yes, as a coach,
Yes, of
but you are
course.
the
Yeah.
person who like, I personally feel I get that vibe from you, that you have really given damn to that rejections and failures. Arey, shut up, I am going to do that. So what was that motivation from inside? Because in my life also people ask me, ma'am, how do you wake up early in the morning at 5 o'clock? So I need to make them understand that that hunger, that desire, that burning desire has to be there. So when failures are there, how do you deal with that pain? That, oh God, this
Okay.
time again I
So
rejected.
the first thing is I don't look at it as pain.
Yeah.
Initially, yes, I did. Okay. I looked at it as, oh my God, it's a lot of self-doubt. You're not feeling good enough.
Yes.
All those things came in initially. I'm not going to say that, it was perfect and, I was already resilient enough to, kind of take things forward in my journey. But the
Mhm.
resilience built up. Why? Because I had a strong why.
Yes.
Because I had a
Good.
strong why. That's why I kept on moving forward and forward and forward. And that's what got me to, try things, work with things, build things up so that I can also see that, okay, this is what I can do. Okay, let's go and do more. That's the idea of it. So I always have this, it's not just about looking at that moment. It's also about looking at why are you doing what you're doing today? You are a coach, you're a life coach. Why do you want to help women, right? And if you want to help women, why do you want to help them in a more deeper way? So that way, when you have those answers, you forget about whatever failure, rejection that you have gone through, and you come back to
Mm.
that, right? So it's like literally getting in touch with your roots and then coming back and saying that, look, there is always going to be space for much more, and this is not the end of it, right? So that's how I saw. So initially I used to do a lot of a lot of negative self-talk, I would say, like a lot of negative self-talk. I used to think that, oh, business is not for me, branding is not for me, talking to people is not for me, selling is not for me, and all those things I would go on. But after doing more than 300 webinars over the last 3 years, whatever you can say, I've been doing on and off a lot of free webinars, I've been doing a lot of WhatsApp classes, I've done a mix of everything. I have seen that there is this thing called resilience that we can all build, and there is no such thing as failure can take over whatever you're good at. And that's what I felt, right? Initial webinar, no sales, nothing. Second, third, fourth, fifth, I've had like very bad webinars, I have great webinars. I'm just giving an example because that's one of the things that I
True.
used to fear. I used to
Yes.
fear
Yes.
a lot, right? To show up in front of people. But then today, when I look back, I'm like, okay, so this is how it is. This is how you have fun. And
Yes.
in everything, when it comes to any fear and rejection, you just go celebrate it. That's what I feel. That's the other thing. And however weird that sounds, like the day I say, okay, fine, today I did not get that client. Okay, let's dance to it. Fine, fine, move on. I'll write some notes. I'll just say, okay, I'm going to write something and just feel better about it. But then, of course, you're a human being. You're going to feel a little heaviness about that. But after that, you're going to snap out of it. The key is to snap out of it. That's the idea of it. So, yeah,
Amazing, Dia. Amazing. I loved it the way you have tried to make it so simpler for the audience, because you know what you said exactly. First, you should know your why. Secondly, you should enjoy the process. It's about, if you are enjoying it, there's nothing like failure. And I loved that.
absolutely.
You should dance. That is amazing. That everyone should understand it. That it's so simple, but we take it so casually.
No, and even if you don't want to dance, you can play music, you can paint, you can go run in nature, you can go play with your pets. I don't know, just do something that makes you, kind of let it out. You don't have to be, just because we say we need to be consistent in our business, doesn't mean we have to show up at every minute and every hour in our business. We will go mad, right? So
Yes.
it's not so easy. I mean, it does look nice that, okay, you're online and, you have this brand and you have the marketing happening and everything happening, but that doesn't mean you have to be there 24/7, right?
Yes.
That's the idea of it. So you have to start seeing how your presence matters in terms of what you're doing one step at a time. That's what's going to move you forward. That's the idea of it. And smaller
Great.
steps, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Dia, when we talk as a coach about purpose in life, and
Mm.
people feel that today we are thinking about a purpose, and tomorrow the God is going to come, or there will be a pop up something, and this is my purpose, and then I have to work on it. Correct? Yes. So, I just want, because in my life also, and people DM me this, ma'am, how to find out the purpose? Correct. Now you have a journey almost of a decade. Correct. For me, it's
Yes.
just 2 years right now. So still, I feel that I'm working on my vision, my ambition. Just tell people that what is purpose or your why, and there is no such time frame that you will get
There
to
is
know
no such
today or
time frame.
tomorrow
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
So how
So
to find out your why?
yes. So one of the key things to find out your why is to ask yourself. It's like literally to coach yourself and to see that where, why, what, when, how, what is going to actually make you feel better about what you do. There's a reason why we are on this planet. There's a reason why each one of us is born here on this planet and we are living our lives currently. Right now, it doesn't, as you said, right? It's not about the timeline. It's not about finding your why in 3 days or in 30 days. You can even take a year. You can, because sometimes what happens, the clarity that comes in, it comes in over a period of time. It's everyone's why is somewhere sitting in their mind or in their heart. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just that what you see and where you see and what really gets you out, what gets your why out, is basically the experiences that you go through every single day that makes you start thinking that, okay, there is a deeper why in me. There's a reason why I'm doing certain things in a certain way. Now there's this thing called the passion test, then there are, ikigai, and all these different things are there. That's great. Maybe at that moment you'll probably get your answers, but a why is much, much deeper. It's much,
Yes.
much deeper than that. If I just say that I'm going to list out all the things that make me joyful, I can list out 20, 25 things. But the fact is that in the end, what truly drives you, what truly wakes you up, is what will come when you start digging deep into who you are as a person. And
Yeah.
that's when personal branding plays a huge role, because personal branding is not about, um, I'm on Instagram, I have X number of followers, I've been doing this for a while, and that's about it. No, it's not that. And I will never say that about myself as well. But where I feel personal branding comes in is when you really know, why should people follow you? Why should they come to you? Like, why? It's not just about, oh, I want to help people and just get done with it. No, we all want to help people in different ways. We all want to make a difference in people's lives, but why? What makes you come? Are you saying that you want to make the money? Money to everybody wants to make. Everyone wants to
Yeah.
lose weight. Everyone wants to make money. Everyone wants better relationships. Everyone wants more wealth in their lives. So what? I mean, I'm gonna ask you a question that, do you don't want enough money? And then
Of
people
course.
will like,
Yes.
no. So
No.
just for, I can't, you can't keep that as a part of your why. It has to be something that you're doing in depth, that is getting you to get that money and the relationships and the weight loss and whatever the thing that you're planning to do. So you have to really dive deep. And deep by, I mean, not by sitting one day and just sitting and writing. It's a lot of reflection, it's a lot of thought
Yes.
process, and it's also a lot of experience that gets you to answer that question.
Yes. And that's so true. It's about the time. Give yourself the
It's,
time.
yeah, you're not running a race. I mean, come on, you're
Yes.
not like, saying that, okay, um I need to get this. My friend found her purpose, so even I need to find my purpose. We both had the experience, we both are life coaches, we both went to the same person, we both learned, got the certificate, but I couldn't find my purpose, she found it. Arey, this is
Yeah.
not a competition. It's not a race. So you can take longer. Sometimes what happens, even the people who are the most experienced, right? They themselves don't know their purpose still. They're just doing it. But when
Yeah.
they figure it out, it goes deeper. That's the idea of it. So
Yes.
yeah, I hope that gives some insights on why.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Yes. So, Dia, let me thank people, those who have joined, like Khushbu Dubey, Digital Darshan, Parenting Coach Shagun, Ritesh Tu Nagar, Sushant Adash, Adesh, Pooja, Spiritual Writer, Online Business, Rana. Thank you, everyone, for sitting and listening to us. And I'm sure the way Dia is sharing her wisdom with us, I am 100% sure you might be having certain takeaways and you will realize. I just want, you know, why I came live today? Just to make you all realize that every one of us has that purpose. That gift is inside us. Correct? And you
Absolutely,
really,
absolutely.
you need to find out that. Please don't simply waste your Saturdays and Sundays and years. It's okay. December to every year aata hai yaar. There's nothing new.
So true, so true,
Huh?
so
But
true.
then
Absolutely.
don't fall in this trap that 2023 again I have a but January 1st gone. So try to find out that why. That's very, and the
Yes.
way she said, yes, you will do Ikigai sheets, you will do passion test, but it's not necessary that you will come to know your why within a
No, I
day.
know so many people who have done Ikigai and they have just lost track. So it's
Yeah.
not, I mean, it's not like it doesn't work. It's just that it's something that goes a lot deeper than just going and answering those few questions, right?
Yes.
So that's the idea of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, please write it down in the chat box because she would be taking the questions. Okay, so now my next question to you is how was it for you to leave your corporate jobs? Because the name which you have shared with me, that, like, you know, people really want to work with Wipro, with Myntra, with Make My Trip, and so easily. I know it might not be an easy
Yeah.
task. Even right
Hmm.
now, I'm also struggling whether should I leave my job. But Dia, how was that decision when you had that? Now I have to say bye to this, and I have to work on my dream, on my
Hmm.
why.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, what
So the
was?
idea is, see, the idea is that uh, let's keep it short. Like, see, in 2017, I always thought that there was this whole thing of certainty in a full-time job. Okay. And when you're told by a boss that, yeah, you're really good, you're a great asset to the company, all that, so you think that you have stability, you have things happening behind you, you have things working for you. Just one sec, I'm in the middle
Yeah.
of my house. Yeah. Yeah. So the idea is that to understand that nothing is certain when it comes to your profession, when it comes to anything that you choose. And that's what I learned when, I was asked to leave my job in 2017. It was not that I quit. It's just that I was asked to leave my job. And
Oh,
that's what got me to, restart on what I was, doing all this while. And the idea is to kind of work more on what is it that you really want to do. Not because somebody made you do it and somebody asked you to join the job, so you think that is going to be a sorted, that's sorted in your career. It's about who you are and what you want to do, right? So that's what got me to work on, work on it in depth and be really, really close to who I am as a person and why I do what I do. So after I lost that job, I always thought that, I, of course, did not have much confidence in a full time 9 to 5 job. After that, I would always think that, it's not going to work out for me. It's not for me. It's not something for me. But then I did change that belief after I started my own thing, because it's not that, I'm against it. It's because of my experience that I went against it. But after a point, I realized that it is not them. It was actually me. It was actually me, because I was not absolutely 100% into the job. So maybe that was kind of a message to tell me that, look, Dia, it's time for you to get out and start working on something that you're good at. So that's what got me to, get out of it. And of course, big names, lots of trainings done, all that is good. But in the end, it's who you are as a person and why you're doing what you're doing. And it comes back to your purpose. So yeah, that's what the experience
Dia,
was
I got my
in that
answer
way.
on. So
Yes.
sweet of you. That to be very honest, that's something which I was waiting to hear from you. You know, so it was my purpose, and especially I thought that I'm going to ask her this question because even I am having right now that dilemma, that confusion in my mind. And when you said yes, I did a lot of writing, a lot of plus and minuses, what to do, but still I was having that. So thank you for answering that
No,
honestly.
it's something that, I mean, see, I have nothing against full-time jobs. I have nothing against, handling a business. I have nothing against anything. It's just that it's your experience that kind of creates the story around it. But it's up to you. You change the story, you make it work for yourself. And you also see that, look, you're a human being in the end, right? So
Yeah.
you're going to make mistakes. You're going to do things. You're going to turn things around. You're going to but you're also going to change your life for who you are, and why you do what you do is what matters in this case, right? So I also would like to share one more thing, that there are a lot of people who think that, oh, people start businesses and they work from home because they don't like 9 to 5 jobs, and I completely disagree with that. Okay, because I just want to kind of rework on, even in my webinars also, there are a lot of people who have come to me and said, we are in a 9 to 5 job, can we build our brands? And I'm like, yes, you can. Personal branding is for everybody. In fact, personal branding would work even in your job. If you want to get a promotion, or you want to get, like, you want to land another job, then personal branding works. So, that's the thing. So change the mindset, change perspective, and do whatever it takes to find your why. Yeah.
Dia, who was your cheerleader during this whole journey? Who was that one person always standing with you throughout your journey?
From the time I started online, I think one of my biggest cheerleaders has been my husband, and he has stood by me right from the time I started doing this, right till building it, right till failing, coming back to it, going back to the drawing board. He has supported me end to end. So he's one person. I would also like to give credit to my parents, my family, because without a supportive family, I don't think you can run a business like that, especially when you're solo, right? And you're doing everything from home and you're doing everything yourself and you're trying to figure things out. So the support that I've got, they're all like my pillars of strength, which have, who have helped me stand on my feet and do this and make a difference in people's lives. So I love what I do. I enjoy, being a part. And yes, he's joined also. Bharat Asrani is there.
Yeah.
That's my husband. Yeah, you came in
Hi,
right in,
Bharat.
Bharat, at the correct time. So, yeah. So that's what it is. Yes. So
Uh,
just to repeat, Bharat, you're one of my true supporters when it came to, starting my business right till where I am today. So thank you so much. Means a lot.
Amazing, amazing. And to be very honest, I would like to say, Dia, that you are really a beautiful person in and out. I have come live
Thank
with
you.
so many people, and today when I'm sitting with you, I can understand that you are living your truest expression, and especially you're so authentic. It is not. It's okay. You are working on the personal branding, but you cannot reach the heights when you're fake.
No,
Correct? You have to
absolutely.
be.
Yeah, you
Yes.
cannot. You cannot. Yeah.
Never, never. You have to be very true. You have to be very authentic. You have to be really you to become that
Yeah, you have
brand.
to be. And you have to be okay to release that aspect of you. I know also a lot of people who um, they're not able to express themselves beyond a certain point. They think they need to be in a certain way, in a certain, attire, doing certain things in a certain format online. But the thing is, if you're just being yourself, that itself plays a huge role in whatever you do as an influencer, as an impact person, or person who impacts people, or a coach, or whatever the case is. So I would just say that just be yourself. That's all. I mean, there's nothing else that you can do, and nobody can be you. That's the thing. That's your biggest superpower. Nobody can be you.
Yes, yes. So, guys, if you have any questions, please go ahead, and definitely she would be answering. Um, Anything related to your personal branding, if you want to talk about your image, how to build your image. And when we talk about personal branding or when we talk about image expert, the one question I have, which is very important,
Hmm.
and when we talk
Hmm.
about 21st century, about the
Yeah.
communication skills.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So, what do you feel that is it required to develop that skill, or you should simply start, or you should hire a coach for developing your communication skill? What is your takeaway on this? Or what do you want to
So I
share?
think see, there's always room to be better, and there's always room to, I mean, of course, if you should have a coach, you should have a mentor who can help you see the clarity on where you are communicating in a certain way, because communication is not only verbal, it's also visual, right? So it's who you are as a person. And of course, when you are, like, suppose if I have to close my eyes and listen to you, I'll of course, try and understand who you are and what you do. But when I look at you, the impact is much more. That's the idea. So that combination is where you need the support. I mean, I feel, a coach would really help, somebody who's done it, been there, done that, and is there to actually guide you on a more closer level. Those people would really benefit from that. Now, there are a lot of courses, there are a lot of books that you can read, there are a lot of things that you can do. I mean, sky's the limit today. The kind of information that we have today, we can easily, but the biggest thing that you need to do is practice it. Communication is just practice. It's practice, practice, practice. You think I speak like this? You think you and I, we've been talking like this? I mean, when we started, I'm very raw. We were, yeah, I'm back. My battery is a little low, yeah.
Yeah.
We were raw, right?
Yeah.
So the idea is to start practicing that. Like, just think of video marketing. People find it hard to show up in front of videos. Why do they have the why? Because they've never done it before, right? And I think in my previous
Yes.
lives was one of the lives I had, told somebody, oh no, this was in my community. It's like literally telling, expecting a baby to just start walking as soon as, he's like 1 year old, right? I mean, it
Mhm.
takes time for him to start building that skill, building that, ability to walk, going there, slowly walking one step at a time, and then finally getting confident at it. It's the same thing with videos. It's the same thing with what you do. It's the same thing with the words you use. So it's
Hmm.
just that you need to focus on practice, practice, practice. And when you practice, you will get better. You don't have to be perfect at it, but you have to be excellent at it. There's a difference, right? So,
Correct.
yeah.
Neha, there is one question. Manoj Sethi is asking. He's
Hmm.
asking, how can I build my personal brand in the sense when I am working with a real estate company?
Hmm. Yeah. So see, whether it's a real estate or anything, personal brand is something that you can start growing. And I think if you were there in the initial part of this conversation where Minal asked me what is personal branding, and I would just give you one answer is that you already have a personal brand. It's just that it's not been enhanced, right? And there's no such thing as, oh, in real estate, in this, yeah, it's what you choose. So you chose real estate. So how do you build the brand in real estate? So you have to show up with those, in front of those people, in front of that audience, in front of those people, and position yourself in a certain way so that people notice you for what you do, right? So it's not just about the business brand. Of course, the business brand matters. You have, that as one part of it, but you as the person, because in the end, they have to trust you. So it's very important to position yourself in whatever you're doing. So say you're in a real estate, like how, you asked, you need to position yourself as a real estate expert, right? It's just that. And when it's not just having a designation and saying I'm a real estate expert, it's about your personality, your communication, your image, your voice that really matters, that brings out that part of you or that brand of yours, which will make it much more easier for people to understand and connect with you on a deeper level. So you already have a brand, it's just that you have to enhance it. That's the idea of it. Everyone has a personal brand over here. If you're
Yeah.
communicating, you have a personal brand. If you're going and talking to somebody one on one, you have a personal brand because you are connecting, you're communicating what you are. So that is what it is. It just has to be enhanced.
So, Manoj, I think you got the answer, and thank you for uh, asking this question. And if you really have some other question with this, please go ahead. You can share it. Is my comment section on? Because he messaged it personally. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think it's off because I got a couple of requests again saying that your comments
Really?
have been off. Oh, that's
But
why nobody's
to
been.
be very honest, I don't know why. How is it done? Can anybody help me from the um, audience? That how can I have it? Or you please can post the question to me
Yeah,
so that I.
even I can see Manoj Sethi's question here. Yes.
Yes, I don't know. I have not done any settings. So guys, if you know and if you want, please go ahead and write it down so that she can take the question.
I think there's
Next
this
is
little button on the right, which is a question button, right? Question mark.
yes,
Is that it is?
yes,
So you can just
yeah.
ask something there. So it's not in the chat. It's you'll have to just ask something that says ask something. You just click on ask
Yeah.
something, and then you can just answer. I mean, just ask me a question.
You can just post your question. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Dia. But I don't know what has happened. So, Dia, if we are getting some question till the time, I have one question. And Dia, what's the secret of your beauty? That's really different from personal branding. But I really felt that I should ask you, what's that secret?
Oh, that's a really really tough question, but
Why
I
tough
think
question?
it's no, because I mean I don't know what to answer for that. But then the idea is that I I think the secret mainly is how good. I mean, okay, let's put it this way. I mean, I'm trying to just make it a little, easier for you all to kind of understand. But I think the secret to who I am and how I show up is basically it stems from the fact that there was once upon a time I did feel like, I was low on confidence, I was low on voice, I was low on how I look. Okay, so that has triggered me to show up today in my most natural state, and it
Wow.
has, kind of made me evolve from who I was to who I am today. So this is not something, just because it's natural and because, I show up and, I'm there for everybody and I, kind of have these videos and all that happening. It's because of a lot of self talk, a lot of belief in myself. There's a lot of things that I have changed, a lot of things that I've broken, that I've fixed in terms of who I am and how I actually see and perceive myself, that shows up my beauty today. So that's
Wow.
that's one of the key things. I mean, it's very hard to put it in words, but it stems from a very, very strong limiting belief into something that, doesn't let me move now. It doesn't let me, think on those ways, right? So
Yeah.
I'm more of a person today who accepts myself for who I am, and that's what, kind of radiates out of what I do.
Great. And see, this is how she started working on that personal branding. I loved that answer, Dia. I'm really
So
in
the
love with
idea
you.
is, yeah, that also comes down to why I help other people, is because I know a lot of people are facing low confidence. They're not able to speak openly, their voice is not heard. So that's where I came from. And honestly, that's what got me to, do whatever I'm doing today. And that's what's showing up now in front of the audience. So I think it's a journey that has actually got me to show up the way I am
Super. Dia, there's
today.
one more question from spiritual writer.
Let me see
I'm
that.
a
Yeah.
writer,
Huh.
so how can I build myself as brand?
So it's the same thing as what I shared with, Manoj, who said that he's into real estate. It's the same thing. So, in the end, you being a writer, you need to show up as a writer. Of course, that's the number one thing. It's like the main thing. But apart from that, it's also, um, how do you stand out? As a writer, like how do you stand out from your competitors? How do you stand out and position yourself, so that people can notice you as the writer? So it's about enhancing certain aspects or maybe connecting. And because you're a writer, probably you write really well. You're, good at communication, you're good at voice, you're good at all these different things. So you need to show up keeping that in mind, but not just show up by just telling people that, hey, I'm a writer. It's showing up in different ways. It's like enhancing certain aspects of your personality. It's about enhancing certain, like I would say, do interviews or do, things wherein you're having conversations like this, so that, the true essence of your writing comes out in those conversations. So that also is a part of building a brand. Anything that you do which is very closely related to who you are as a person and who you are as a designation or as an expert comes down to branding, right? Because anything that you put out there is your brand, whether you like it or not.
Yes. Uh, Dia, there's one more question.
Yeah.
RK Rajesh is asking how to build a
Yes.
successful personal brand.
How to build a successful
Successful
personal brand.
personal.
I think I just answered that.
Yeah.
It's just showing up. It's basically showing up and, being who you are as a person. And I don't want to constantly repeat it, but the fact is that that is the truth. I mean, it's enhancing who you already are and working on your personality, working on your voice, working on your image, your communication. All these things really, really matter in the long run. See, today a lot of people take it for granted that, oh, branding, I can come back and do it. I don't need to. I want to just correct you once. It's not that, you wait to build your personal brand. You already have a personal brand. You just have to enhance it. That's the idea of it, right? So that's what it is. Yeah.
You have answered, but then people are asking the same question in different
Why
manner.
is everyone asking me the same question?
Yeah, how to make presence in international business market? Richa Mission Millionaire is asking, and Manoj is saying, while speaking, where is the people they show their energy? So
Okay, wait, let me answer one. What is the first one? I think Richard's is how to make your presence in
presence in international
international
business market.
business market. Okay, I think one of the key things over here is to expand your reach and you need to kind of chisel your skills somewhere wherein you feel that that you are well in tuned with the international market, because the international market works completely different from the Indian market. So you also
Yes.
have to be okay to show up that way so that the international market also resonates with you. So it's very important to work on, again, it comes back to communication actually. It comes back to image. It comes back to who you are showing up in front of that person. See, you can have a visibility on social media, but not necessarily that people from other parts of the world are going to communicate or connect with you. It really depends on how you have packaged everything so that people can come to you. So the international market, I'll be honest with you. Yes, today it's better to start with the people who are in India first, right? Because they need you more. Once you actually have that growing, then you can open up to the international market, and automatically people will come to you and they will want to do business with you because you already helped a lot of people. So I think, I mean, if you're already working with the Indian market, great. But I would just suggest that, kind of amplify it a little more. And then you can move on to, your international market or, the people globally.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me see the next question. What is that? Rich, I hope that answered.
Yeah.
Manoj, okay, while speaking, where is the people they okay, I didn't understand that, Manoj, much,
Yeah.
but the way you speak is very cool. What you have, I didn't understand that as well, but thank you so much. That's what it is. If you're saying that I speak well, thank you so much. That comes with practice. And if you're asking me how do you kind of build the energy, I'm guessing that is what it
Yeah.
is,
Even
right?
I
If it
think that
comes to,
he means
yeah,
to
so
say
how do you
that
build the
how do we?
energy when you're speaking? Yeah,
Yeah.
so I think one of the ways to build the energy um, is to story tell, like to tell stories, right? So one of the key things in branding also is storytelling, and that's one of the things I even teach in my sessions. So storytelling creates connection. It creates emotion. So what happens is that when people start hearing you, you're not just a tape recorder just sharing information that, oh, these are the 5 tips to be confident, right? It is about your story. It is about who you are and why have you chosen that. Like, I'll give you an example. It took me a while to answer Meenal's question of what is your secret to your beauty, right? It really took me. It was a very hard question. But the thing is, I said it in a way where it came from something that I felt vulnerable about to telling you what got me to do what I'm doing today. And that's what is actually radiating that. So that story, I'm just giving one example because we spoke about it, but that kind of connection creates the energy. Like, just think of people like Tony Robbins and think of Gary Vaynerchuk and Marie Forleo and all these other people. How do they get that energy? It's always a two-way street in this case when it comes to communication, especially, right? So I hope that answers, Manoj. I think that was a good question actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
Richa has one question. She's saying, I'm already doing since 4 years. Now want to explore an international market
Yeah,
more
so I would
clarity.
say, get in tune with the international market. Don't do the same thing that you're doing for the Indian market, because the
Yeah.
international market thinks differently, right? So if you're looking at people in the UK, in America, and all that, they're always going to think differently. They're not going to think that just like how the Indian market thinks. So you have to be ready to probably reinvent, probably re-explore, and do a lot of research. That way, it should give you some answers and how you can approach them. Yeah. So, Rich, I hope that answers. Okay, great question. What else is there? Uh,
I
what
think
is in the
we,
back of
you,
your mind? No, Manoj is saying, what is in the back of your mind while speaking? I think
huh?
I'm quite I think I'm quite spontaneous. So I don't have much in my mind to, say, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say 10 things, and I'm going to, bring it out here. But yes, somewhere I feel that my true connection with my topic is what gets me to speak spontaneously about whatever I'm doing. Like now in case of Meenal, she's into coaching and she does things, so she will openly talk about it. It's just that it's not that everything is scripted and planned and all that. You think this
Yeah.
interview is scripted? No, I think
No,
Minal just
not
told me,
at
I'm going to
all.
ask you 3 questions and I'm just going to ask you random questions. You just have to be ready to answer it. I said, sounds good. So that's what it is. So I have
I
nothing in my
always feel
mind, guys.
that it
So
should come automatically, So,
yeah, it's
Madhuri,
not, yeah,
when you know who you are and when you are truly connected to yourself, you never need a script. Dil se baat karo,
absolutely.
dil se dil ka
Yeah. So
connection.
even
Do you
even
know
in
that?
videos and all that, yeah. I mean, earlier it used to be like this, right? We need to have a script. We need to, know
Yes.
what to say. Yes, there is a skeleton that you can follow. Like we have a like particular template that you can follow in videos and content and all that, which works for the market. But
Yeah.
what you say in that mal, which we call, the mal in what you say, that comes from your own thought process. It's not,
Yes.
that, oh, I have it in this. This is what I'm exactly going to say, and this is what I'm exactly going to do. Let's think of
Yes.
TEDx speakers, TED speakers.
Yeah.
They don't have everything scripted exactly. They have a skeleton. But what they say sometimes in that story, probably they were saying it differently when they were practicing. But when they actually said it on stage,
Yeah.
they were, it was a completely different ball game. So it's just what comes out spontaneously. I think that's the beauty of,
Yeah.
communicating this way. Yeah.
And I always believe this, that be spontaneous, speak from your heart, then you will
Yeah.
have that
Speak straight from your
connection.
heart. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dear, there's one question. Please give an example for any homemaker which you feel is wow.
I think there are a
Um,
lot of women over here who are already, doing that. I mean, there are a lot of homemakers who have built businesses from their homes. So, um, I think it's a lot of women's story in India, especially, who are, who have turned coaches, who have, started working. Like I personally have a lot of clients also that way, who are doing things from their home, but they are also managing their houses. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really give a particular name that way, but I would just give it all to the women who are actually making a difference because there are
every woman is a
enough
wow, I feel
examples. Yeah,
here, right? Every woman
yeah.
is a wow.
Everyone has got their own talent, their own passion, their
Yeah.
own experience, their own presence. So there's no such one woman or one man impacts lives. Everybody
Yes.
impacts in their own lives, and if we all do it together, I mean, you can imagine how this world can be a better place.
Yes.
So look at it that way.
Ravi is saying actually it's about the clarity of thought and experience you carry. Yes, Ravi,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I
So
think that comes also a lot from your research, a lot from your intentions, a lot from who you are, of course, and of course, a lot to do with the conversations that you've had in the past with people. So
yes.
that also plays a huge role in terms of, the
And
clarity
become
of
a
thoughts.
lifelong learner, I believe. Don't
Yes,
stop your
yes.
learning.
Don't
Uh,
stop your learning. Yes.
she's asking, Mama, what about the personal branding for homemakers?
It's the same thing. Say, I wouldn't, I mean, as I even said that, a homemaker also is like a manager, like you own the
Yeah.
house, you're managing everything. So you yourself have a brand. But I mean, if you want to help people in a certain way, see, personal branding is more for people who want to help other people do something, right? Or maybe, change their lives, or maybe do something that, is kind of concrete. Okay, so I wouldn't be able to really answer the question in terms of, will a homemaker alone be able to, I mean, should she build a brand? I think everyone should just build a brand. Everyone should have their personal brand, their personal presence, because that also builds the confidence. That also builds, the fact that it changes a lot in their relationships and a lot in how they think as people. So, yeah. So I mean,
Believe
there's
in
no,
yourself.
I don't know why is it just homemakers? I mean, why can't it just be everybody? Everybody should
Yeah.
learn to build. Yeah, that's the idea of it.
What would be yours? A Can't Mind First India is asking, what would be your tip for someone who flows into emotion and talks more than required without a script?
Hmm. What answer do I give to that now? But I just feel that probably that person. Are you saying to give advice to that person? Is that what the question is?
Yeah, the
Wait,
question is, what would
Let
be
me see
your
the
tip?
question.
Yeah, what would be your tip or suggestion for someone who flows into emotion and talks more than required without a script?
Uh, My tip
Can
would be that next time when you're doing something, just have a set of have a clear thought process, somewhere in your mind, so that you can, even if you talk spontaneously, you don't end up talking more than what's required.
yeah.
So I feel it's also what you communicate. I think that's also what works. A very, very hard question. Somebody even laughed at me that way. So, it's a very hard question for me
To
because
be
I
very
talk
honest,
openly. Yeah.
I always feel that this is also an art. You will learn with the
Yes.
practice. And second thing, maybe that person did not have that opportunity to be heard. So let them
Yeah.
speak, and it's
Yeah.
okay. They will also learn.
Yeah, see,
Everyone
as
wants
long as
to be
it's
heard.
yeah, as long as it's well relevant. Because see, I know people who share stories which are not relevant. They just
Yes,
share it, share it, share it. But then sometimes when you think, you just put yourself in their shoes and think that okay, maybe there was something suppressed. Maybe they were not given that
mm,
opportunity to speak, and now they have got the
yes,
opportunity, so they're speaking.
yes.
So you have to kind of respect that also to some extent. But I also feel somewhere when like now. Um, if I were to ask a question, you know, and when I ask the question, I expect a point blank answer,
Mm.
right? But sometimes that doesn't happen. So yeah, somewhere you got to kind of draw your line, and there are various ways to put it across in terms of that. But then there's no right or wrong in this case.
Yeah,
It's
there's no,
it's just being a good listener and accepting people and not judging them for who they are. It's what I feel in terms
these
of that.
are actually the good listeners only in your life. So
Yeah,
everyone
yeah,
needs
yeah.
a good listener.
Yes.
My art is asking nice presence building. What is the best way to do it?
Nice presence building.
Yeah.
What is the best way to do it? What's the question? Okay.
Her question
Okay,
is
wait.
nice
Yeah,
presence
yeah.
building. What
Presence
is the best way
building.
to do it?
See, I think the number one thing, there's no best way to do it, but of course, when you build a presence, you build a presence with the intention to make a difference, visually and verbally. Okay, so your presence really matters in all spheres of what you do. So whether it's the content, the online presence, the image. I don't know if you joined a little late, but we had spoken about this some time ago. So I think it's a mix of all those things that really make your presence. It's not just about having a social media presence. Social media presence anyone can build today. You know, we can go on LinkedIn and we can start building a presence there. But the idea is that even when you're offline, you're showing up for you know some kind of an event or maybe an occasion or whatever the case is, your presence matters. So I would just say, what do you do as a as a habit that would actually enhance your presence to some extent, which will keep working on it on a small level, maybe in a small percentage over a period of time.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. I would just say, there's no, one size fits all. Let's understand that. There's some people who they don't need a LinkedIn profile to really prove themselves. Some people
Yeah.
don't need to be on Instagram and Facebook to prove themselves. They can be offline and they can talk to people on a one-on-one level and still be able to make a difference. So that's the idea of presence. Yeah.
And I personally feel that it's about your energy. When you talk about
It's
your
also, yeah,
presence,
it's a lot to do with your energy. Yeah.
yeah. So work on your energy. When she said about
Yes.
habits, so build the habits, check your energy, how you're standing, how you're talking, how you're vibrating. So it's about who you become in this
It's
journey.
about who you
Okay.
become in the process. Yeah. Yeah.
So
and
work on
and
your
it's
energy.
also about, it's an exchange of many things. I mean, it's not just
Yeah.
about what it's also about what intentions, what personality,
Yes.
everything. It's like putting a lot, it's really deep, but it's also what you prioritize in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember I told Dia it will be 30 to 40 minutes, but somehow it's 1 hour. Yeah, thank you.
I'm having fun. I
Um,
had to repeat a few things, but yeah, that's
yeah,
okay.
yeah. Uh, but the last thing before you leave, just your
Yeah.
life month.
Yes, my life mantra is do whatever it takes and do a good job of it. That's all.
Thank you so much, Dia, and thank you to each and everyone, those who are patiently
Thank
sitting and
you.
us. And I'm sure that just do tag us with the takeaways so that uh, the people who follows you, they also understand what was the wisdom shared by Dia. So
Thank you
it
so
was
much.
really very interesting life for me also, Dia, and I had 2 3 doubts in my mind which you cleared it today. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for having me on this. It's really nice, and it was a really nice, fun, candid conversation that we had on, this topic. And when I have like this is a little, thing about me that whenever we have these conversations, I understand how deep I have to go in my purpose further. So you
Yeah.
can imagine that even though I know my purpose, I still need to go deeper. Because
Yes.
we have conversations and the questions that all of you have asked, amazing questions, things on, international market, like what Richa asked, and a couple of people has asked me on speaking and sharing things from your mind. I mean, it's just amazing that how do you all think about this topic, which also gives me some kind of a idea as to how I need to help you move further in this journey, right? So it's amazing. Thank you so much, Minal, for giving this opportunity, and more
So
power
sweet.
to you, and more power to all of you on
Yeah.
this session.
If you still have any questions, you can DM her personally. You can join her webinars and start working on your personal branding.
Yes. More like it, just start right away. Don't wait for my webinar. Start right away. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Enjoy your weekend and think why we are here on the planet. Bye bye. Take
Thank
care.
you. Bye.